everybody, it's Hexa, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys 6 tips for how to set goals. These tips are going to help you not only start working towards your goals, but actually help you to accomplish your goals and track your progress in an effective way. I'm going to try to keep this video as short and sweet as possible. So first up, I have 3 tips for things you need to stop doing, and then I'm going to give you 3 tips for things you should start doing. Number 1 is to stop waiting for the right time. Stop waiting for New Year's, stop waiting for Monday, stop waiting for the first of the month, or your birthday, or the start of the school year, or whatever it is. Stop waiting. Change happens in the now, and if you can start your goal today, start it today. If you can start it right now, start right now. There is no better moment to start than the present moment. So the second you get that burst of motivation, take advantage of it and just take the reins and start working towards your goal right that second. Bursts of motivation are fleeting, and if you get one of those surges where you just want to start doing something good for yourself, do it right now, because that motivation may not be there on Monday. That motivation may not be there on the first of the month. The moment you feel motivated to do something and the moment that you know in your heart that you can start, start. Number 2 is to stop waiting until you can buy something to help you with your goal. This is something a lot of people do. They say, I want to do this thing, but I gotta buy this thing first, and I can't afford to buy the thing, so I can't start doing the thing. But that's not true. Success comes from within, and change comes from within. Accomplishment comes from yourself. You don't need to buy anything to be able to start. Buying something for your goal might help you, it might make it easier, it might motivate you a little bit, but it is not the end-all, be-all of your goal. You do not need anything but yourself to work towards any goal. Again, the power of accomplishment comes from within, and every single time you tell yourself that you can't start working on your goal because you don't own something yet, that's just a subconscious delay. That's you subconsciously stopping yourself from starting because you're afraid of commitment or of failure. Let me tell you a little story about this. Last year, I was doing a program called Couch to 10K, which is an app that basically trains you to slowly build up your jogging stamina so that you can go from being a total couch potato to being able to run 10 kilometers without stopping in approximately 14 weeks. So you do this 3 times every single week, and I was somewhere around week 5 when I started experiencing pain in my shins. At the time, I was running in my Converse sneakers, and I decided that I had to go out and buy proper running shoes so that I could continue doing Couch to 10K, because otherwise I was gonna do some terrible damage to my shins, which was probably not true. So I stopped doing Couch to 10K, and I waited until me and my mom had time to go together and buy a pair of running shoes. And it was a few weeks until we found the time to go shopping, and we went and we spent like probably 2 hours looking for the perfect pair of shoes because I have really high arches in my feet, and I wanted a pair of shoes that would support my high arches. And eventually we found the perfect pair, we bought it, and I still didn't continue Couch to 10K. I don't think I've been running in those shoes in an entire year since we bought them. So that just goes to show that if you are stopping yourself from starting on your goal, it is not because you need something. It's because you are not ready to do it, you're not allowing yourself to do it, or you don't want to do it. So the next time you tell yourself that the reason why you're not starting on your goal is because you haven't bought something that you need for it yet, ask yourself, what's the truth here? Why am I so afraid of starting on this goal? Number 3 is to stop the all or nothing mentality. Just because you had a bad day or a cheat day or a part of your project failed, that does not mean that it is the end of the world and you have failed at your goal. You still have the chance to continue tomorrow. You still have the chance to fix whatever went wrong with your project. and you still have the chance to start fresh and continue on your path. You are always able to make a positive change, and just because things aren't going exactly as you'd planned, that does not mean that you are not getting better at whatever it is you're trying to improve on. Holding yourself to these impossible standards and insisting that everything has to go perfectly is only going to set you up for failure, because the moment something goes wrong, you give up. Somewhere in your heart, something cracks and you just give up because you wanted everything to run smoothly. But the truth is, that's not how it works. That's not how life works. When you're learning anything, when you're trying anything new, and if you're trying to get better at something, that's gonna take work, and the only way to get better is to learn from failures. So it's okay. It is okay to fail. It is okay to have a bad day. You are only human, and the only thing that matters is that you carry on undeterred the next day. So those are my 3 tips for things that you should stop doing, and next are my 3 tips for things that you should start doing. Number 4 is to set quantifiable goals. So read more is not a good goal, and eat healthy is not a good goal. With generalized goals like that, it is impossible to keep track of your progress, and it is impossible to measure it in any way. For example, if your goal is to read more, then you can easily tell yourself, well, yesterday I didn't read anything, and today I read 1 page, so I read more. Technically, I did my goal today, but reading 1 page a day is probably not what you had in mind when you set a goal to read more. So I repeat, set a quantifiable goal. If you want to read more, how many books do you want to read in a month? How many pages do you want to read in a day? And what should those books be about? If your goal is to eat healthy, determine what that means to you. Is there a number of kilograms that you want to lose or gain? How many calories should you eat in a day? How many pieces of fruit? How many servings of vegetables? Alternatively, if your goal is a long-term project rather than a daily habit, then split that project up into chunks and determine deadlines by which you want to finish every part of the project. Tip number 5 is to take baby steps. Change is scary, work is scary, and commitment is scary, and any goal requires at least 1, and most goals require all 3. Setting yourself one big goal is way too daunting and overwhelming, and it can really throw you off and just set you up for failure, because if you're over here and you want to get here, it is so hard to see your way from here to here. It's so hard to figure out how you're gonna get from here to here. So instead, break it up into small chunks. Don't aim to go from here to here. You can set this as a long-term goal, but at first, focus on getting from here to here. Don't give yourself a goal that you cannot see your way to. Take small steps towards your goal every single day or every single week, whatever suits you, and slowly you will start to make progress. If it's a daily habit that you're trying to introduce into your routine, for example, meditation, don't tell yourself, I'm gonna meditate every single day this month. That seems way too daunting. That seems like way too much commitment. Instead, ask yourself today, can I take away 5 minutes of this day to just sit down quietly and meditate? And on any given day, however busy you are, the answer to that question is probably yes. So do that. Sit down, meditate for 5 minutes, and then tomorrow you can start again, ask that same question again. Slowly, that way you can develop the habit without putting too much pressure on yourself right from the beginning. Number 6, my last tip for this video is to hold yourself accountable. Respect your goals and take them seriously. Remind yourself every single day that you're not doing this for anybody else, you're doing this for yourself. Take the time to make yourself a schedule and stick to it. I know a lot of people have the tendency to really want to do something, and then they start doing it and they realize that it's difficult. And all of a sudden they start talking themselves out of it. They start trying to tell themselves that they didn't actually want to do it and that it was a silly idea to begin with. For example, if you wanted to start doing yoga every single day, of course, you know that yoga is great for your health and for you spiritually. But then you start doing yoga every day and you start realizing that it's harder than you thought and you're not as flexible as you thought. And all of a sudden it becomes very easy to say, you know what? Forget it. Yoga is stupid. Everyone who does yoga is stupid. This is such a fad. It doesn't work. It's not helping me. Why would I ever have wanted to do yoga every day? But you know in your heart that's not true. You know in your heart that doing yoga is going to be good for you, but you're trying to talk yourself out of it because you feel like you're failing, or you feel like it's harder than you expected, or it's not as fun. And so you kind of try to backpedal and you try to just talk yourself out of it and stop doing this thing that has actually become really challenging. And you can do that, but in the end, you're not cheating anybody else. You're not hurting anybody else. You're only hurting yourself and cheating yourself out of the lifestyle that you want. So hold yourself accountable, remind yourself of why you wanted to do this in the first place, and work towards it every day, even when it's hard, because nothing worth doing and worth fighting for is ever easy. That was it for my 6 tips on goal setting. I really hope it helped you guys, and if you like this kind of video, please let me know in the comments if you have any requests for similar videos in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for more. And you can donate to my Patreon down below to support me and my channel. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!